Winter storm watches are out and snow is on the way. What about overnight trends? Let's see what they say in this Tuesday morning edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning, it's Tuesday, the 7th of January, 2025. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldyinchief David Reimer. This update is the Tuesday morning edition, at least, as we'll be doing multiple updates throughout the day to discuss our impending winter storm, as we are now getting within the 36 to 48 hour onset time frame, meaning things are starting to become more clear. We're getting into higher resolution data, and we're starting to see some trends in that data that have required some adjustments to the forecast. So let's get into it. Let's start off with the high-res rapid refresh model for today, tonight, into Wednesday morning. Now, today it's going to be quiet across the state. We're not expecting a whole lot going on. Maybe some light rain down near the lower Rio Grande Valley, lower Texas Gulf Coast, up into South Texas. You can see as we get into Wednesday morning, we're going to start to see increasing snow shower activity across the Borderland, far west Texas. West of the Davis Guadalupe Mountains, west of the Trans-Pecos, heading up I-10 into El Paso towards New Mexico. We'll also start to see maybe some very light snow activity in West Texas. You could see that may not even reach the ground due to some dry air near the surface. And this will take us through noon Wednesday, when we're still, for the exception of far west Texas, mostly quiet across the state. That is going to change as we go into tomorrow night, into Thursday and Friday. You can see the model overall showing an increase in precipitation across portions of the Big Country, the Permian Basin, Edwards Plateau, Trans-Pecos, Borderland, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. And then Thursday, well, it's off to the races. We'll discuss trends here in just a moment, but it's going to rain. Regardless of the precip type, it'll all melt down and eventually be measured as liquid precipitation. It's going to rain. Across a decent chunk of the state, we're going to get a decent amount of precipitation out of this. Not bad at all for January. In terms of frozen precipitation, you can see Thursday morning the potential for a winter mix from the Edwards Plateau into the Hill Country, Central Texas, the Brazos Valley, parts of East Texas, north into the Big Country, the Permian Basin, North Texas, Texoma, Northwest Texas, West Texas, parts of the Panhandle, into Texoma. So, what overall has changed since I talked to you last evening? Well, the upper level low we're tracking. If you watched our videos yesterday, you know about this already. If not, that's okay. We're going to talk about it real quick. Our main upper level storm system, the positioning of it is going to be important in determining exactly where we see the rain snow line set up, because the further north that storm system goes, the more warm air is going to be advected inland from the Gulf of Mexico. Comparatively warm. We're not talking, temperatures in the 70s, but it will help push the freezing line north. Vice versa, if the system tracks south, cooler air will stay in place longer. The freezing line will stay south for longer. Well, overnight data has trended a little north with this system, which is allowing models to push that freezing line north during Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. You can see in the Thursday morning hours that winter mix down the Edwards Plateau, Hill Country, Central Texas, Brazos Valley, East Texas, but then it shoves north Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening to near Interstate 20/30 in Northeast Texas, staying just south of I-20 in North Texas, back south of I-20 in the Big Country. South of that line, we switch from a winter mix, a mix of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow, to pure rain as temperatures rise above freezing at the surface. While north of that line, we stay near or below freezing throughout the entire atmospheric column, including the surface supporting snow, maybe mixing with sleet at times. What does that mean for the snow forecast, the winter weather forecast? Well, in terms of timing, let me go ahead and say this is all going to be out of here by Friday lunchtime. Most of our issues tomorrow, or I shouldn't say tomorrow, Wednesday night to Thursday morning, will be north of a line from Del Rio, let's just say north sides of Bexar County, Bryan College Station, towards Tyler, Longview, north. Freezing line will move north during the afternoon changing y'all in the hill country, central Texas, Brazos Valley, East Texas, from any sort of winter mix to rain, hopefully alleviating any sort of travel issues we see develop. For those of you in the big country, North Texas, the Arklatex, Texoma, Panhandle, West Texas, it's going to stay below freezing, probably supporting snow and a continuation of hazardous travel conditions Thursday night, Friday morning, until things start improving Friday afternoon. We rise above freezing before going below freezing Friday night into Saturday morning, so anything that melts or any water on roads is going to ice. Okay, so what does that mean for the overall accumulation forecast? Well, here is the snow forecast now. And again, I'm not trying to nitpick here exactly where we're going to see the heavier bands develop. This will probably be a little more concise. We'll probably see a sharper cutoff here, but the overall trend has been a bit north. So the potential for, a dusting to an inch of snow along the north of a line, parts of the Northern Hill Country, to Waco, to Tyler, out north of Marshall. And again, this is going to really depend where that freezing line sets up during the day. Don't be shocked. We'll see some shifts. Could shift back south again, may shift a little further north, but we're starting to hone in on where the heaviest snow totals are going to be. Those heaviest snow totals yesterday looked like they were going to be in the Concho Valley, the big country, northwest Texas. Well, now we've seen a shift northeast, and now the heaviest snow totals look to be in portions of Texoma, Oklahoma, North Texas. So, at this point, and I'll zoom in and show you in more detail in a minute, we're expecting the potential for 1 to 3 inches of snow. Most of the Trans-Pecos, Permian Basin, Concho Valley, North Texas along and south of Interstate 20, southern DFW Metroplex, into portions of northern East Texas, the Panhandle, and West Texas. Now, let me go ahead. We'll start doing zoomed in shots. Here you go. You can see that. Panhandle, generally 1 to 2 inches of snow. 1 to 3 inches of snow along and south of Interstate 40. The potential for 2 to 3 inches of snow, maybe up to 4 across West Texas, Northwest Texas, down to the big country, parts of the Permian Basin. We're looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow. As we head into the Concho Valley, same story. 1 to 3, maybe up to 4 in spots. Now, here's a look at big country, Northwest Texas, Texoma, North Texas, Northeast Texas. The potential, we're just going to broad stroke it here. Let's just say 3 to 6 inches of snow. Northwest Texas, Texoma, northern DFW Metroplex, Northeast Texas. Along the line pretty much from let's just do Abilene to Eastland to Mineral Wells to Weatherford to Fort Worth, Dallas, up I-30 towards Greenville, Sulphur Springs, up towards New Boston. 3 to 6 inches of snow, and could be locally higher amounts. That extends into southern Oklahoma, southeastern Oklahoma. South of all that, you can see we have a very sharp gradient here. It may be even sharper than this map shows, where we go from, several inches of snow to a dusting, down towards a winter mix, where we may have a little bit of ice, to rain. And speaking of ice, here's the latest freezing rain ice forecast. You could see, a trace to 1/10 of an inch possible. Hill country, parts of central Texas. We may even see a little bit of freezing rain ice up into North Texas, DFW, mixing with snow at times. And then you could see parts of northeast Texas. The Weather Service at Shreveport, a little more aggressive with that. We could see, up to 1/10 of an inch of ice. And we'll refine this as we get closer as well. I've realized, we've been talking about this for a few days, but in terms of Texas winter weather forecasting, we're still 48 hours out. In some cases, we're still 60 hours out. Remember, typically here, we're having difficulties even doing this at around the 24-hour time frame, so there will be changes. Make no mistake about it. There's always going to be a few surprises thrown into the mix inside 24 hours. So I realize confidence overall has been high that we're going to be dealing with winter weather now for a couple of days, but the finite specific details are still going to change. So welcome to winter weather forecasting in Texas. Isn't it fun? The answer is kind of no, but at the same time, the challenge is fun. So again, I'll show you the timing elements off the North American model again. As we go through Wednesday night, we see precip increase. Snow could be ongoing by tomorrow afternoon, El Paso, far west Texas. Thursday morning, we're going to see sleet, freezing rain, snow increase. Rain, southeastern half of the state. Rain freeze line moves north going into Thursday afternoon. And then everything moves out late Friday morning, early Friday afternoon. Speaking of rain, here's what the overall actual forecast rain totals look like. Now, this includes anything that's also frozen that melts down into the liquid equivalent. So when all is said and done, if it all fell as rain, and for all intended purposes, once it melts, it kind of will be measured like that. Here is the moisture we're going to get. You can see we're actually looking at a pretty decent amount of moisture. The potential for over a half inch of rain or liquid equivalent of rain along and east of a line from El Paso to near San Angelo, Abilene to Wichita Falls, from Sherman down towards Brownwood, Stephenville, Uvalde, down to Corpus Christi, points east, we could be looking over an inch of rain or equivalent, and then portions of central Texas, the Brazos Valley, East Texas, Southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle. We're looking at maybe, an inch and a half up to all the way to 3 inches of rain equivalent. So a good amount of moisture for sure. I mean, even back out in western Texas, Panhandle, West Texas, Permian Basin, Trans-Pecos, Borderland, Big Bend, it's going to be a dry snow, a powdery snow that falls, but we still could see over 1/10 of an inch of liquid equivalent, which, it's better than nothing, right? So as we head past Friday afternoon, we settle down, we quiet down. This weekend, precipitation-wise, outside of maybe some light showers through Friday evening near the coast, we're donezo. Bye-bye, adios, au revoir, Biedersehen, goodbye. Things calm down. You could see this model actually does bring a little bit of snow shower activity into the Panhandle Saturday night. We'll watch that. At this point, it looks isolated, but I guess we can't rule it out. As we go into Sunday, you can see moisture starts trying to increase off the Texas Gulf Coast, but it stays off the coast. The rest of us, we're not doing bad. Then, as we head into Monday night and Tuesday, our next storm system in the Gulf could start to bring rain chances back to the coastal regions of Texas. And I say rain chances. Notice that word, I said rain. No winter mischief of doom expected with this at this point. So, let's take a look at forecast high temperatures. Now, I'm going to forego the whole looking at overnight low things. Needless to say, northern half of the state could drop near or below freezing every night for the next 4 to 5 nights. So even though we're going to make it above freezing during the daytime hours, anything that is on the ground in a liquid form will freeze up again at night. Keep that in mind. Today's high temperature forecast, we're looking at 30s in the northern third of the state, 40s along the north of Interstate 10, 50s down across the southern third of Texas. So, it's cold. It's January, but it's not record-breaking. Like we've been saying for the last week, it's going to get cold, but we're not talking record-breaking temperatures. Tomorrow, it is going to be cooler. We're looking at temperatures kind of hovering around freezing. Panhandle, West Texas, Permian Basin, Borderland, below freezing up in the Davis Guadalupe Mountains, Trans-Pecos. Temperatures in the 30s, Texoma, North Texas, Hill Country, Northeast Texas, pretty much 40s for the rest of the state. So tomorrow is going to be colder than today for most folks. And again, increasing moisture, increasing cloud cover, we're going to start to see precipitation across the western third of the state. Here's Thursday's high temperature forecast. You can see hovering near freezing, maybe just above, maybe just below, northern half of the state. And this is as our ongoing winter system occurs. Now, if we're, 34, 35, guess what? It's probably going to be raining. Closer to 33, 32 or below, it's going to be snowing. Don't get all nitpicky on exactly what the temperatures are here. These are high temperatures. Depending on precip intensity and stuff, things may be a degree or two colder, a degree or two warmer. As usual, things are going to depend on exactly where the freezing line sets up. So 30s, northern 2/3 of Texas. Notice warmer air beginning to advect in from the Gulf of Mexico along the coast, South Texas, where temperatures rise quickly into the 50s along the coast. So rain, probably some fog. Now, as we go into Friday, we start to warm things up, but taking into account the potential snowpack, high temperatures have come down. North Texas, Big Country, Texoma, Northeast Texas, 30s. 30s in the Panhandle, West Texas, hovering around 40 in the Concho Valley, Big Country, same thing. western portions of Texas. Southern half of the state, we're getting back up into the 40s and 50s. And then we're going to go below freezing Saturday night or Friday night. And then here is Saturday. You can see snowpack continues to influence the weather because the snowpack is going to try to keep things colder. So we're going to see a pretty sharp temperature differential here where we have snow on the ground. It's going to be melting pretty quickly on Saturday. But again, where we still have snow, temperatures are going to stay closer to 40, upper 30s. Everyone else, if you don't have snowpack, we're going to be, back up closer to the 50s. South Texas, Edwards Plateau, even parts of the Trans-Pecos, we're back in the 60s. And overall, this is the trend as we go into Sunday and Monday. Snowpack goes bye-bye, and we're donezo with that. Again, storm system possible Monday, Tuesday along the coast. I could have some rain chances, and then we're having to watch a system perhaps as we go into next Thursday. There's some indications, at least, that we may have to deal with a little bit of issues again in the Winter Mischief Department, but that is out in model voodoo land, and in the words of Baldyinchief, that's not our problem right now. So, travel impact-wise, Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, Borderland for West Texas, Trans-Pecos moving into the Permian Basin, maybe parts of West Texas Panhandle. Thursday morning, things go downhill pretty quick, probably. Northern Edwards Plateau, Hill Country, parts of Central Texas, Brazos Valley, Concho Valley, Big Country, Northwest Texas, Panhandle, West Texas, Texoma, North Texas, eventually making its way into Northeast Texas, Thursday afternoon. Thursday afternoon into early Thursday evening, freezing line flies north, meaning those of you in the Hill Country, Central Texas, Brazos Valley, East Texas, you may start off the morning, early afternoon with frozen precipitation. You're going to switch over to rain. That should help any sort of travel issues begin to improve quickly. Travel issues are not expected to improve until Friday afternoon, probably. North Texas, Texoma, Northeast Texas, Northwest Texas, Big Country. As precipitation moves out, we'll see things begin to start melting a bit, even though temperatures are going to be cold. Anything that we see melt Friday afternoon that doesn't evaporate is going to freeze up Friday night. So keep that in mind. Even if we see roads improve Friday afternoon, they're going to freeze up again Friday night probably. And then Saturday, we should see rapid, significant improvement, and we can be done with all this. So that's going to be it for your Tuesday morning edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Again, we will still have surprises with this. Make no mistake about it. This is not a forecast written in stone. So expect surprises. But that is the latest as of this morning. You can get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, and more in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device. And as always, you can find us on the YouTubes. Just search for Texas Weather Center and, of course, our website, TexasStormChasers.com. We appreciate everybody who has joined the Texas Weather Center family over the last couple of days. If you haven't already, feel free to hit that subscribe button, get notified when we have new weather updates. And of course, if you haven't, hey, hit that big thumbs up button if you appreciate the information. You don't have to like the forecast, but if you appreciate the information, feel free to give us that big old thumbs up. It helps us in the magical land of algorithms, and, it's free. So, all right, plan is we'll keep updates coming throughout the day. We'll have at least another video this evening, perhaps this afternoon. And so we'll see y'all later. Have a great Tuesday, and don't freak out. This won't be a winter storm that lasts, a week after snow falls. Have a good day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.